Ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. The Object 268 version 4 is finally available. Yes, it is finally in stores, but in crates. Of course, it is in crates. There will be no other way. Now, this tank, people were, oh, look at that advert there. Protect the life you love. Let's get life insurance. Thank you, advert. But yeah, the Object 268 version 4. People know that this tank is super strong. It was tested twice. It was really strong, kind of OP back when it was first tested. Is it still strong? Is it still the same version 4 that we played? Kind of, yes. It is still super strong. Now, for me, what makes this tank so strong is the armor profile of this tank is insane. So we're going to have a look at the stats. And then, of course, we're on Blitzhanger here, so we are going to have a look at the armor profile as well. So the DPM of the tank, 2,927. Not too bad, not great, but you know, it's okay. But I personally would run it with calibrated shells because your standard pen is only 265, which is quite low for a tank destroyer. I mean, you compare that to an Object 268. Object 268 wipes the park with it, and you can see the penetration is actually 13 out of 13. So it's one of the worst penetration tank destroyers in tier 10. Of course, if you run the heat, that does pump it up, and if you run calibrated shells, that makes it even more. So 363 is enough to get through anything, if I'm honest. So yeah, I would definitely run it with calibrated shells, because that gives you also 278 on your standard pen, which is still low, but it will do. It will do indeed. 690 alpha gun, and yeah, which is quite nice for a 690 alpha. So 152, rate of fire 3.94, and the reload time is 15.21 seconds. So quite a long reload, but the tank is not about the gun, in my opinion. It's all about the armor. The gun handling, the base time base aim time 2.26, pretty good. All right, dispersion 0.407, not the worst, not the best, and the gun depression only has 5 degrees of gun depression, which, yeah, that is it's quite a slow tank. It's 38 kilometers per hour, and it does feel kind of slow when playing it. So let's just have a look at this armor profile, because it says it's got the front plate is like 260 millimeters in the game, but if you come over to Blitzhanger, you can see just how strong this upper plate or this front plate looks. Now 280 millimeters, but effective, you're sitting at 331 effective armor. That is your lower plate. That is your lower plate, which is normally weak. Yeah, I mean 300 millimeters, 346, and if you're obviously on a ridge, that does become lower. But if you're looking straight, that is actually a very difficult pen. 375 millimeters. Now the upper plate, yeah, you're not really penning that. And of course, you've got the gun mantlet, which you can't pen. Either side of it is over 300 millimeters. But even the orange there, if you're looking at it like this, over 400 millimeters of armor. So yeah, good luck penning this. You need a high pen. I mean, if you come up against this in a medium tank, good luck trying to pen the front of this tank. Obviously, you do have the hatch on top, which is still quite small. It does have some spaced armor, as you can see. I don't know why, but you can just see frontally, just frontally alone is incredible. Now, how I played this tank in test was just like the new YOLO wagon. You drive into the enemy, and what I did in one of my test games is I just drove straight. I just drove straight forward, right into line of the enemy, and I had Hories, Jaegeroos all bouncing me. I bounced about 5k in about 10 seconds. It was insane. Unfortunately, I can't show you that because it was in test. Of course, you start showing the side of your plate, your armor. Yeah, it does become weak. So you want to be facing the enemy at all times in this tank. But of course, it does only have 5 degrees of gun depression, so bear that in mind. So we're just going to head over to the game and just watch some replays I had in this tank. The tank actually does look like a proper beast. It looks absolutely fantastic, and I applaud Wargaming what they did because it does look very, very nice. So we're going to head over to some games. Just going to turn the volume down just a little bit. So yeah, I've literally had 3 games in this tank, just 3 games. Let's just have a look stat wise. Tanks, you can see, I mean, I've won a couple, and an average of 3.5k damage, which isn't bad. I mean, people will average 4k in this tank. I guarantee that now. So we're just going to watch some games. I mean, this game's a bit boring, but we do win this game. But let's just fast forward it to the good bit, shall we? So what I mean about armor profile, which we're gonna show you. So we've got the object 268 there. We've got an object 84, and as I've said, the best way to use your armor effectively is pretty much face the enemy. You can try and angle. I mean, if angling still works, as you can see there, we get the bounce from the object 268 as well. So yeah, you can angle, but yeah, if you can angle, of course angle, but remember, it is also a very slow tank. So bear that in mind with the mediums and the light tanks. They're not going to really be able to do much to you frontally, but they'll be able to easily get behind you, and they will be able to circle you very easily. So just 2 versus 3 here. We get the shot. We are going to get shot from the object 268, but again, you can see we get a beautiful bounce from him, and that's 1500 block damage just from these guys. And you can do that. You could do that often. You could do that often. I don't think I'm going to get too much there. I'm going to get a little bit more damage, but it's a bit of a boring, because there's just me and a Death Star trying to chase a Object 84, and it doesn't. It takes some time, but we do manage to win that game. So moving on to the next game, we're going to watch again. We're not going to watch the whole game. This is a loss, but we're just going to show you the armor profile, and that's what I want to do, because that is what this tank is all about, the armor profile. Now, like the object 268, you can play this sort of at the back if you want, but I love playing this front line because it has the armor profile of a heavy tank, and you can deal with the heavy tanks, you can deal with tanks nice and easy, and you will get bounces. Of course, you're not impenetrable. People will still be able to penetrate you. You can see we took a shot there, but we then also bounced the shot straight away from the opening. And again, like I said, it's all about the armor profile in this tank, but give the enemy time to switch to Pramo, and of course they will be able to penetrate you. So just keep moving, and if you just you will see the enemy, like sometimes they'll be aiming at you and aiming at you and aiming at you because they're trying to get the weak point, and don't give them that opportunity. Try and angle the best you can. Again, there we bounce the Vickers, nice and easy. So you're always bouncing this tank, and again, I've got a bit of bounce there, bounces there, sorry. Almost 3.5k damage, and then the end game here, which is a little bit better than the other games. But I like this map because I don't like playing this tank at the back of the map because of the armor profile. As I've said, I like playing this tank frontline with your heavies, because you got more armor than most of the heavy tanks in this tank, and it's a tank destroyer. It has a 690 alpha gun. So I'm going to play it frontline. I'm going to see my team here. They are pushing the 2 tanks there. The medium tanks are spotted, so I'm just going to try and cut them off if they try to run away. So of course I'm trying to get behind them. I am going to find the enemy Death Star here, which I will have to be very careful of, and I'm literally going to fluff my first shot here against this Death Star. But of course I do want to focus this Death Star. He's got a high pen, and he should be able to penetrate me very easily. So we're just waiting for the opportunity. We're not going to make it easy for this Death Star, and we hit his gun, and we're just going to back up and get a bit of cover whilst we're on that reload. But now this T62 is taken care of. My team are all here. Pretty much my whole team are here. So they're going to push the mediums, and I'm going to try and keep the Death Star away. And I'm going to come around the corner, and again, we get a very easy bounce there. And that is looking pretty much straight ahead. And as I've said, you don't have to try and angle this, because I've showed you the armor profile of the tank. You don't have to just face the enemy. That is all you have to do in this tank, is face the enemy. But give them time. Of course they will aim, and he hits the side of my turret there, which is a weak point when you are angled, but we still managed to take care of him. And before you know it, it is a 6 versus 3. I've got 1300 damage at the moment, but there's still a lot of hit points. There's 2 E100s and there is a 60 TP to deal with. So we're just going to try and help the mouse. Luckily, the mouse has quite a lot of hit points, and he's literally taking the attention of all 3 of these tanks. So we can just come up, roll up behind him and just help him. And he's stayed alive for quite a while, this guy. He's got 3 tanks, 3 big tanks all around, and he's still stayed alive. But I am going to take care of the 60 TP. You know me, I don't care about damage. Most people would leave that because it's not enough hit points. Yeah, I don't care, and I do take the kill. So that's my first kill. We're on 2.2k damage. Now, I'm not just going to go out and get shot on purpose here, because if I get shot from an E100, I would be a one-shot. And again, look at him aiming. He is taking his time in aiming. Most other tanks you could just look at and shoot, but no, the E100 had to take his time there and aim his shot. And now there is a tank behind him. I can just clear him up, and before you know it, it is a 5 versus 1. We're on 3.2k damage. I should be able to get one more shot into this guy. Luckily, he's not looking at me, and we got 3 seconds. I mean, the reload is kind of long, but I think it needs it. I think if it was any the tank is OP. The tank is overpowered as it is, so the reload is absolutely fine. The penetration is absolutely fine, because where this tank shines is that armor. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Good luck getting the tank. If you are able to get it, you're getting a fantastic OP tank. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.